By 2050, your morning commute could start in space. Right now, governments and giant companies are building mega projects so extreme they sound fake. You are about to see a roadless desert city, a floating ocean village, and a train faster than a jet. And at number 1, a real plan for a 36,000-kilometer elevator into the sky. These projects are not movie sets or concept art. They are funded, scheduled, and in some cases already rising from the ground. Today we are counting down the top 10 insane mega projects that could reshape Earth by 2050. Watch closely, because each project is bigger, stranger, and more ambitious than the last. The Line, Saudi Arabia. In the middle of the Saudi desert, a 170-kilometer-long city is being carved straight through the sand. It is called the Line, a mirror-walled mega-structure designed to hold an entire country of people inside one continuous building. There are no roads, no cars, and no traditional suburbs. Instead, stacked layers of homes, parks, and workplaces are squeezed into a footprint only a few hundred meters wide. High-speed trains hidden under the city promise any trip in 20 minutes or less. Above, a continuous green spine and open sky courtyards try to make the desert feel like a permanent spring. Egypt's new capital city east of crowded Cairo, bulldozers are building an entire new capital from pure desert. Skyscrapers, ministries, and presidential palaces are rising where there was once only sand and rock. The plan is to move millions of people, the whole government, and even foreign embassies into this purpose-built smart city. Glass towers surround wide ceremonial boulevards, artificial lakes, and one of the largest mosques in the region. Sensors, cameras, and command centers will monitor traffic, water, and power in real time. The goal is to pull pressure away from Cairo, and create a futuristic showcase for the country. Hyperloop vacuum trains. Imagine entering a sleek pod, sitting down, and then silently shooting through a tube faster than a jet. Hyperloop systems try to do exactly that, combining low-pressure tubes with magnetic levitation to slash air resistance. Pods could travel between major cities at airline speeds, but from stations built right on the edge of downtown. You might live in one country and commute daily to a job in another, in under an hour. Several companies are testing full-scale tracks, pods, and safety systems in deserts and research centers. If one network finally works, entire airline routes could be replaced almost overnight. Floating ocean cities as sea levels rise. One radical idea is to stop fighting the water and start living on it. Engineers are designing floating neighborhoods, built on huge platforms that bob with the waves like giant concrete ships. One United Nations-backed project off the coast of South Korea plans hexagon-shaped islands linked together into a modular city. Each piece would carry homes, farms, and solar panels, then expand outward as more blocks are added. Anchors and wave breakers calm the motion, while storm walls shield homes from brutal swells. In the far future, entire nations could float above former coastlines, drifting in protected bays and shallow seas. Australia to Asia solar supergrid. In the empty Australian outback, one project plans to turn a sea of red sand into a giant power plant. Rows of solar panels, stretching for kilometers, would collect sunlight, convert it to electricity, then send it across the ocean. High-voltage cables buried under the sea would carry clean power thousands of kilometers to hungry cities in Asia. In theory, one desert solar farm could light up an entire foreign metropolis during its daytime peak. This is just one piece of a bigger dream, a global web of supergrids moving sunlight from deserts to clouds. If it works, countries could share energy like data, balancing day and night across continents. Similar long-distance green grids are being studied between Europe and North Africa. Supporters say such links could cut both emissions and blackout risks. Flying taxi mega networks. Now imagine looking up from a traffic jam and watching silent electric aircraft lifting off from rooftops. Dozens of companies are racing to build small vertical takeoff planes that act like air taxis for short city hops. These craft take off like helicopters, tilt their propellers, then cruise like airplanes over the congestion below. Skyports on towers, parking garages, and airports would handle constant waves of arrivals and departures. Your 15-kilometer drive, once an hour of frustration, could shrink to a 5-minute flight. Entire maps of 3-dimensional air lanes are being drawn over the world's busiest cities right now. Robot-powered vertical mega farms. Picture a skyscraper where every floor is packed with glowing rows of crops instead of desks. Vertical farms stack lettuce, herbs, and even strawberries from basement to rooftop under carefully tuned LED light. Robots slide between shelves, planting seeds, checking leaves, and harvesting food without a single tractor or field. Nutrients and water drip directly onto roots, using a fraction of the land and water of outdoor farms. These towers can sit right inside cities, slashing the distance from farm to plate to a few blocks. In a world of droughts and unstable weather, climate-controlled farm towers could quietly feed whole neighborhoods. Planet-wide satellite internet constellations far above your head, swarms of small satellites are forming a new kind of digital mega-project. Thousands of them orbit in tight patterns, beaming internet access down to almost every point on Earth. Remote villages, ships at sea, and even research bases in polar ice can now come online. Antennas the size of pizza boxes track the moving sky network and switch between satellites in seconds. For billions of people, this could be their first reliable connection to global information and digital jobs. Permanent moon bases. For 60 years, humans have only visited the moon for a few days at a time. Now space agencies are planning to stay, building the first permanent bases on the lunar surface. Modular habitats would be buried under moon dust, to block radiation and micrometeorites. Rovers would roam out to mine ice, turning it into drinking water, oxygen, and rocket fuel. Landing pads, power stations, and laboratories would grow into the first off-world industrial park. From there, the moon becomes a launch point, a low-gravity harbor for missions deeper into the solar system. Japan's space elevator plan. Engineers in Japan are quietly studying a project that sounds impossible, yet follows real physics. They want to build a space elevator, a cable stretching from Earth's surface up to geostationary orbit. Instead of burning tons of rocket fuel, electric climbers would crawl up the ribbon carrying cargo and people. The lower end would be anchored at sea, while the upper end holds a massive counterweight in space. Trips to orbit could one day feel more like taking a slow, silent freight lift. If materials become strong enough, this single project could open space to ordinary industry and travel forever. You have just traveled from a mirrored desert city to the edge of space and beyond. We saw the line rewrite what a city looks like, floating towns rise with the oceans, and trains race through tubes faster than jets. We watched flying taxis claim the sky, robots take over farming, and satellite swarms wrap the entire planet in data. Then the countdown leapt off-world, to permanent moon bases and Japan's dream of an actual elevator into orbit. Which mega project shocked you the most, and which one do you secretly want to live in? Would you trust a Hyperloop pod, move to a floating city, or work on the moon for a few years? Do you think a space elevator will really exist in your lifetime, or is it still pure fantasy? If you enjoyed exploring these future-changing projects, tap like, subscribe, and share this with someone who loves big ideas. In the next videos, we will dive deeper into future cities, extreme space technology, and the wildest inventions already reshaping everyday life.